Welcome to the Ages of Rock podcast with your hosts Bill Algie, Dennis Talbot, and Alan Tate. We are three guys who have one thing in common, a love of rock and roll. Our goal is to talk about all things rock. We hope you find this show intriguing, funny, and occasionally highly opinionated. Enjoy!
Hey, welcome to Ages of Rock podcast number 26. Can you believe it? We made it to 26. Holy moly. Anyway, we got for you this week the rock and roll trifecta. We're going to do three smaller topics instead of one big long topic. But before we get started, Bill's got three instead of one. Okay.
Okay. I was confused.
All right. Before we get started, though, timing of this show is very, very strange. We skipped a week because of family issues. And then our show came out on Thursday. And at the end of that show, I made a little comment about Gene Simmons, about how I was so proud of him for coming out on CNN and saying such niceties about Prince and not mentioning him or any about him, no self-promotion whatsoever. And
that was all true.
How did that work out for you there, Dennis?
That was all true. It wasn't that statement that was the problem.
Yeah, I got burnt hard on that one. So here we go. So I'm going to retract what I said last week at the end of the show, and then we're going to start out this week with a new statement. Gene Simmons needs to keep his mouth shut. He is at the point where, Gene, I've been a fan for God knows how long, but every time you do something stupid like this, it makes it a lot harder for me and a lot of other fans to back you up. If I hear the statement from him one more time that, I've never had drugs or I've never done alcohol, I've never been drunk or high. Well, number one, Gene, I'm going to remind you about your reality show when you were playing golf out there and drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade and got a little buzz. Either you lied about that or about having a buzz, or you're lying about that the show was a fake, which I know it was a fake. Your reality show is not a true show. It was a scripted show from the beginning. Anyway, but my rant about Gene is I'm getting tired of this crap, this holier than thou bullshit that he's been pulling. He just needs to keep his mouth shut. You are not the mouthpiece for rock and roll, for our generation, for your generation, nobody. And these people, these companies, or not companies, but these news organizations need to stop calling you whenever there's something that they need somebody to say something about. They need to just stop calling you, period. And like I said, and the more I got to thinking about it the other day, the more madder I got. and it's the bullshit about, and then, what, I'm just going to you talk about throwing under the bus. Here we go. The fact that Gene makes all these comments about how successful he is and how he's made all from what he's done. You know what, Gene, you made all your money because of four people who started that band originally. And two of those people were addicts, but they helped you get to the point that you are. Number two, you didn't get there by yourself and all your talent. People like Bill Coyne, Sean Delaney, Neil Bogart, who basically almost went bankrupt with you guys trying to get you to where you are now. Luckily, they got to that point. Paul made a comment on one of those DVDs, I don't remember which one, about would you call a man who fell into a creek filled with gold, would you call it talent or just luck? Gene thinks that all this crap is his, going. Okay, Mr. Simmons, if you're so successful and everything, okay, you had a movie career, and the only reason you had a movie career is because you fuck Cher. All right, I'm going to tell that. So, and I looked it up, and you know what, Gene, you've never got an Academy Award. So and you did a film in 20 years now, or at least. You had a record company that I think twice you tried that out. You've had no success with that. Tongue Magazine was going to be the greatest thing that ever happened. Where did it go? I don't remember it going very well. So, Gene, you're not as successful as you are. You're lucky that you're at the position that you are now because of other people who worked hard to get the band to that point. You didn't do it by yourself. You did it with a bunch of other people. And you need, and I know Shannon jumped on it this week, giving Paul all kinds of shit. But you know what? If you look back through the Kiss catalog, the most successful songs and the person who kept Kiss going through a lot through the 80s was Paul. Your songs, you wrote some songs that are good. Paul Stanley's solo stuff is really good, and the stuff that he's written out of Kiss has been good. Let's see, your one record, Gene, was Asshole. And what comes out of an asshole? Shit. And that's what that album is. It's shit.
Oh, God damn.
So there we go. I'm done. But I feel better now because it made me look like a dumbass last week.
Well, the best part to me about the whole the Twitter war that sputtered out was Nikki Sixx and Michael Sweet jumped into that.
See, I didn't see the Michael Sweet have. What?
Well,
that was on Twitter.
Yeah, he's on Twitter. He follows me, and I follow him.
Right.
And he basically defended Paul.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, of course. I mean, Paul did no wrong. I mean,
Paul took it. Paul took it from. Go ahead, Alan.
Well, you're going to basically say the same thing that I am. Paul took it from you were hurting the brand.
Exactly.
So on behalf of my band, I apologize because he said something that was really stupid and insensitive, and he doesn't know the facts. Right. And that's basically what Michael Sweet was saying was that Paul had every right to defend that because that makes the whole band look bad because those two are the face of that band.
Exactly.
Well, Gene has every right to say whatever he wants because that's why we live in America. Otherwise, we'd be living someplace else.
Right.
I think that
we would be living in shut the fuck up a Stan.
Yeah.
I think his comments about Prince the first time were probably accurate and probably sincere.
They were probably thought out.
And probably thought out. I think the second time, I don't think it was not thought out. I think he believes that to die because you use drugs is pathetic.
And he believes that.
So I don't have a problem.
Yeah, right.
I don't have a problem with him saying that, knowing that I can put that into perspective.
Right.
And know what he's saying is people that use drugs and they die from it and they're successful, that's pathetic. Now,
right.
Is it insensitive? Yes.
Exactly.
Is it wrong? Probably.
Right.
But I don't and
he has every right to feel like
weeks
he
ago.
does.
We had this discussion a couple weeks ago about people that have decided to cancel concerts and stuff like that because of people passing bathroom laws and stuff like that. I don't give a crap about that stuff. I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care what your views are on that stuff. It doesn't change that kind of stuff for me. So I'm not saying what he did was right or wrong. I think Paul had every right and every reason to say that he apologized on behalf of the band, on behalf
of saving the brand.
Yes.
He's saving the brand.
I really don't think that I don't think people associate Gene Simmons' comments with a statement from the band Kiss. I think they correlate his comments with Gene Simmons' comments.
Well, I think the fans can differentiate, but in my opinion, the general person out on the street, Gene Simmons is the face of Kiss to them because they know the demon and the tongue.
Right. But I don't think those people give a shit what he thinks.
Well, probably not.
So I don't think it matters.
But Paul's also looking at future and new people who get into Kiss. If you say like you're somebody who really doesn't know Kiss and they put something out and you want to promote it and they go, oh, but that's that asshole that says bad things about Prince. Yeah. That's hurting the brand.
Now, what will interest me is after the autopsy results have been released,
it's true.
If they find out, if they announce that, yes, he died of a Percocet overdose or whatever prescription medicine he had, it would be interesting to see what Paul's thoughts are on that.
I don't think his thoughts will be any different.
People know that's what the problem is. And I think everybody knows that. It's the fact of that he's being insensitive.
I think that's it. I don't think Paul's comments have been any different.
No, I don't think so either.
Because I think that it's just there's why go there?
Yeah,
and I think that's Paul's I think that's Paul's stance is why go there? What's the purpose?
The man's dead. It ain't gonna change.
It's not gonna Is it gonna fix anything? No. Is it gonna help anything? No. Is it just because you can get your soundbite out there? Yes. That's really all it's about. I mean,
you're going to anger your fans. That's all you're going to do. Anger his fans.
Yeah, and Shannon, you're not going to ever see this, and I totally get it, and I don't really care. But you know what? They're two adult men, and they can argue, and it's okay. They don't need you in the middle of it.
Yoko, there's a lot of
do yourself a favor. Know your role.
Yeah.
Shut up.
All I could see there was, "Don't you mess with my man."
Oh, it's exactly what. Come on, really? How old
I had to read it like 2 or 3 times to see, because originally Gene had put out the fact that he was saying that his family was mad at him. So I'm thinking, well, maybe Shannon's backing Paul up. I had to read it like 2 or 3 times and try to figure out. The thing is that also either she was mad when she typed it because she's not very eloquent on her typing and her.
If you see her respond to tweets like that, that's what usually happens. They're a little bit. You can tell they're written quickly.
Yeah,
because you can tell that they're not edited or anything.
Exactly.
But you know what? They may have been mad at him about making that comment and about the sensitivity piece, knowing that it was going to end up with some kind of a backlash. But her to lash out at Paul or say something to Paul is like, whatever, dude. He has every right to apologize, and he's not apologizing for Gene. He's apologizing for the perception, like you guys are talking about, of people of the band. And apparently it didn't cause a problem because the two of them were together a couple of days later at a opening of one of the Rock and Brews.
Yeah.
So and they weren't at each other's throat with knives, and they weren't throwing forks at each other, and
it's all about money. And I didn't hear that they arrived in separate buses and drove in separate, so I don't know, whatever. Yeah. But you know what, though, it gets me is the fact that, and Shannon of all people should fucking know this bullshit. Gene talks about all this, people who are addicted to drugs and alcohol. Gene was a sex addict for God knows how many, if he's telling the truth and slept with 5,000 freaking women, and, probably 2,000 of them was when he was with Shannon and having kids. Shannon should know, so basically he's just his sin, what a sin is a sin. He's just as bad as a drug addict for doing the things that he did. It's just a different perspective.
Righteous indignation.
Yeah. And you know what? If you read the 10 Commandments, I think there's a couple of them that talk about that kind of fornication and shit like that. There's not one that says anything about drugs and alcohol. Sorry. Back me up, Bill.
So, what's our next topic?
Okay. So anyway, well, I'm gonna.
I wanted to spend.
Hold on a second.
Going to talk about some potpourri stuff. I want to post a picture later, but the high school here in town has a show every year called American Pie, and it started back in 1984, I think, or 85. And a history teacher who really loves music wanted to do a musical history of different genre, different the rock. They're mostly rock songs throughout the different decades. So it happens the first weekend, usually the first or second Friday in May every year. So we went last night. 28 songs. These individual kids performed 28 songs with a band that's made up of teachers and some other folks, and then some of the school band, which is really, really cool. But I forgot. I don't have my program. But last night was called and it's always called the Magical Musical Tour, or it's got some kind of name. Well, last night's name was the Magical Herstory Tour, and it was because it was about all women in rock and songs about women. And it was cool to see these kids that are, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, however they are, singing, these boots are made for walking, and singing stuff by Heart, and singing stuff by Stevie Nicks and Fontella Bass, and it was really cool. So I'm going to post a picture from it because the kids are also into it, and it's neat. It's just a great way to for kids to get a little exposure to some different music. And the auditorium was packed. It was wall to wall people. Couldn't find a seat. It was really cool. So when they start talking about taking the arts out of school and to cut funding and stuff like that, I mean, I think that's
bullshit.
That's just bulk. It's
We got to build
that's
another
not good stuff.
bathroom now. We got to build a third bathroom. That's
No,
the
we got to
problem.
build a a whatever else.
Football stadium.
That's right. We got to build a transgender bathroom. Don't say stuff about that.
We don't need a music department.
Yeah.
We just
So
need to
anyway,
build a
I just wanted
bathroom.
to share that with you guys. It's really
No, it
cool.
is cool.
I'll post a picture on the Facebook page because it was neat. So.
Oh, real quick too. I want before we get into this. This is a funny thing. Real quick. My uncle got with me here a while back, and he bought an old house and was fixing it up. And he told me a while back. My dad was like, "Hey, he found a couple of records, and he thought you'd be interested in them." This was on Mother's Day, so we stopped by there, and he said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, there was a Beatles album and a Kiss album." I'm like, "Cool." So he goes out and looks for them. He couldn't find them. And he said, "Well, I'll find them at some point. There were somewhere. We just found them in this old house." I'm like, "Really cool." So anyway, I went to my mom and dad's last weekend. Actually, no, that was Easter. So I went up there for Mother's Day, and my mom come out and she goes, here's these records that your uncle was talking about. I'm like, oh, cool. So the first one was Abbey Road, and I'm like, that's awesome. I've got
Cool.
the problem is that it is heat warped. I mean, I don't know where it was, probably in an attic or something, but I wouldn't take a chance on playing it on my record. I don't want to bust my needle up. So anyway, but it's cool, Abbey Road, and I'm like going, the Kiss one, which one is it? I kept thinking about which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Now I'm gonna tell you right now, the album is in really good shape. I mean, it's playable. It's in almost like in perfect condition.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, there is.
Is that funny or what?
Show them the
mean,
price
My
tag.
copy is in the same condition.
Show them the price tag.
The greatest thing about this album is it has a Woolworths price tag on it, and it says 2 for $1.
Is that what it says? It's
It
$2
does.
for
It says 2 for $1. What a steal! So we know how they got rid of those million copies of each one.
too. You see the bottom.
And it is. It's a cutout. So that would have been. They were selling these to You think there was a lot of
they
a
all
lot
ship
of
multi-platinum.
Oh, they shipped them all. Yeah, they got a lot of them back. Unfortunately, it didn't have the poster. It did have the inner sleeve though with the stuff.
Oh, that's
in it.
cool.
But like I said, I thank my uncle for thinking about me because he knew I was a big Kiss fan and everything. But it was just funny. I was like going, oh, it's like Peter Criss, yeah. Anyway, so I thought you guys get a kick out of that. So anyway, you guys ready to start this up?
I thought we already started.
We started
All right. Anyway,
17 minutes ago.
We talked about this here a while back, and even though we just had the Kentucky Derby last week. I know these weeks get messed up because this show's delayed for about a week. But we thought about doing a rock and roll trifecta. So anyway, we're going to do, instead of one long topic of just a bunch of boring stuff, I had some.
Did you just say
what
that when
Dennis
we
is-
do
What Dennis is trying to say is we
boring?
don't know what the hell we're doing today.
Wow.
No, this was actually, and I'm going to give credit because I was supposed to give credit to this. My buddy Ronnie, his wife, Lisa Bennett, she made a comment. I was talking about our show, and she says, "You guys need to do this as a topic." And I'm like, going, "You know what, Lisa? That's a pretty good topic." She says, "Well, you gotta say my name." So there we go, Lisa Bennett. Anyway, she came up with a topic of lyrics that we sang, listened to, and thought were this, but ends up they weren't what we thought they were. Mistaken lyrics. So that's where the first topic is going to come from in our rock and roll trifecta. Anyway, what do you guys got, Alan?
I want to rock and roll all night and part of every day.
Part of everything.
I actually posted that
That's awesome.
one day. It was either 2 or 3 years ago because it just came up in my Facebook memories. But I posted that, and I'm not going to mention anybody's name, but he's in this podcast that he posted a comment. Really? I think Bill thought I was serious for a minute there.
And the whole reason that this whole thing came up was we were talking about Manfred Mann's Earth Band, the Blinded by the Light, and of all the lyrics that are, you know what? And the thing is I pulled those. We were talking about it at work too. I pulled the lyrics up. No wonder we got them all wrong because they are the most jumbled together bunch of words that I've ever seen.
Well, it is Bruce Springsteen, so
it makes no sense. I mean, it's like
What
Bruce
song was it?
Springsteen wrote that song.
Oh, the original. You know, the
Oh,
Bruce,
Afternoon Delight.
Yeah,
Blinded
No.
by the Light.
Oh, Blinded by the Light.
Afternoon Delight.
we know where Bill's mind is this
I'm
afternoon.
here for comedy relief only today, boys.
I think I got those lyrics down okay. But the man, like I said, Bruce Springsteen did write that. But the Man for Man, I pulled those lyrics up, and it's like, there's some shit on there. It's like the dude was, I don't know if he was high when he wrote this shit, but it's just a random bunch of.
I don't think it was high. I think
Yeah.
he was taking something different.
Yeah. So like I said, that's the one that everybody gets wrong. But I was just wondering if there was any of the songs that you guys had.
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay, what you got,
So
Bill?
one of them, actually, the Kiss thing is good because I was listening to a couple of songs today, and there's a section in Deuce that I struggled with for a long time, couldn't figure out what it was talking about. I tried to listen to it earlier and I got distracted, but I think it's like the second or third line I couldn't figure it out, so I have to go back and look it up. But Hard Luck Woman has always been one that has stumped me, which is when it goes into
the name of the girl.
The name of the girl.
See, I'm the same.
Everything but her name, and I still don't. I've looked at 4 or 5 different things, and it's actually I've seen it I've seen it as Rags.
See, I've heard Rags.
I've seen it as Reg.
I've heard Reg.
It's a song for Elton John.
Yeah. So, so actually, I've seen it 2 different ways. So I've seen it those 2 ways. So I don't really know what the real lyric is.
Rags
it's Badge.
Is the one that I've seen. Man, Alan's on fire today. What's up with that?
Wow.
I liked it when you were. No, I don't like it when you're more quiet. You're better this way. Keep it up.
Know your role and shut your
Fix me a sandwich.
Yeah, fix me a sandwich. Anyway.
Oh shit.
Anyway.
Off the rails.
But yeah, no, I have seen I've seen Rags probably more than the other one. I have seen Reg.
So for me that's one. So I got a couple. From the song Alone by Heart. And where it starts doing the
Now he's lost.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to, because I had it pulled up here and I closed my thing.
And you got to remember this too. This is why it was so funny. Was we talked about this, and a lot of these songs were from when we were kids or when we were younger, when you didn't have the internet to pull up, and a lot of the albums didn't have the sleeve with the if you got one without the lyrics, unless Hit Parader or one of those magazines printed your lyrics. Oh, you were up shit creek.
I remember buying that in the back. They'd have like 20 lyrics. Lyrics. Be like, that's cool. Yeah, because now even if you get it on CD, I can't read it because the font's too small. So I gotta use my glasses and a pair of cheaters. It's freaking horrible.
It's called the Ages of Rock.
You have to go back to buying albums now when you get older, so you can actually read the lyrics if they're on the insert.
See, Alan, that's the reason that Bill gets these albums. He doesn't. It's not the quality; it's the fucking print.
The words to shout out loud are this big. The insert.
Shout it, shout it, shout it.
So it makes you wonder, though. So when those guys are using like the teleprompters, how big is the font?
How old are they? That's what you got to find out.
Right.
And do they highlight each word as it's going across with a different color so they don't lose their place?
It's like the jumping frog thing, dancing with the little dot. Sing along with the dot.
Oh,
so
I remember
that. I run a teleprompter for some events that we do at work, and I've done that. I've had to color code each other word so that people can see it. It's kind of weird. All right, so the Alone thing is. So it goes till now. I always got by on my own. I never really cared until I met you.
Right.
That's the real lyric. I always thought it said, I never really cared because I have shoes. That's what I sang it that way.
Wow.
For years. And here's, which makes no sense at all. But
no, because if you hide her shoes, she can't leave the house.
Exactly. So here's the interesting thing. How I realized it was wrong was when I went to see Hairbanger's Ball, and I'm watching Claire sing the song, and I'm watching her lips, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I she said.
Sorry.
And I was like, stop.
I got a cough. Hold on. Sorry.
So I didn't know that. So I'm like, what is that? So I pulled out my phone in the middle of the concert. They didn't call you out, so I wasn't too worried about it.
It was like going, that was one guy here, the white-haired guy with the phone. Why is he texting?
The white-haired guy with the phone. Anyway, and so now I know it. But for years I sang. Balls to the Wall by Accept.
Right.
I can get Balls to the Wall, and now that I read the lyrics, I can probably get the rest of it. But before that, I could get like every fourth word.
That's kind of the way I am with the Scorpions.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand.
Have you actually looked at the lyrics to Rock You Like a Hurricane?
No.
It had to be written in German first and then translated to English.
So it doesn't make sense.
Because the song really doesn't make that much sense.
Yeah.
Killer song.
Yeah, well, Balls to the Wall makes sense. It's just I didn't understand that was the words. You said
it through his teeth.
Yeah, you said earlier that you may have an opportunity to sing Hard to Handle.
Yes.
Black Crows.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another one that I kind of struggle with a little bit. It gets a little tongue twisty.
That ain't nothing but drugstore loving.
Yes.
Or 10-cent loving.
Yeah.
What the?
10 cent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it 10 cent?
Yeah.
10 cents is, yeah.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe
10
I'm
cent loving
mishearing
in one line and drugstore loving in the other line. And then the last one that I thought was wrong, this will be good for you. You guys will like this too, is Bon Jovi.
Right.
Shit, I didn't write the title down.
Please tell me it's in Bad Medicine.
No. When You Give Love a Bad Name.
Oh, yeah.
When it says
Hold on a second. Go ahead.
yeah, it says Chains of Love Got a Hold on Me.
Chains of Love?
Yeah, it's Chains of Love Got a Hold on Me.
You thought it said Change of Love.
No, I thought it said Shades of Love. And then when it says when passion is a prison you can't break free, I always thought it said when the past is a prison you can't break free.
Oh.
So they're close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
right.
fashion is a prison.
I had to yell at my son.
Which is kind of funny because the hair bands and all.
That's true. So those are a couple for me that I struggle with a little bit.
Yeah, there's on the Paul Stanley solo album, I don't remember what the real line is, but oh, you'll always have my love. I used to hear it as your lawyers have my love. I think I posted that one on Facebook one day. It was probably the same day because I ended up doing 5 or 6 different Kiss tunes that way. The lyrics of God of Thunder used to throw me off when I was younger. God of
Because I really did.
Which one was it? Which one was it about? I was born on Olympus.
I was born on Olympus. That I always do. What?
Puss. He said puss.
He said puss.
He's talking vagina.
For me though, it's interesting because people always get mad about the lyrics and that the explicit stickers and all that kind of crap that they ended up putting on. I never really listened that closely to the lyrics. I always listened to the music and the beat and.
But some you think that they are cursing and they're not. I mean,
yeah. But I
take AC Back in Black. Written to fuck. I thought he was ready to fuck. I always that's why he said fuck. He was ready to fight. Is what it is. I always got that wrong.
Well, whiskey and cigarettes will do that to you.
No, that was No, I was a kid when that happened.
No, I'm the same.
Oh, you mean you? No, I wasn't fucked up. I was fucking 10, man. What's up? No, I was older than that. But anyway.
You know what? This is my stance about drinking.
What's that?
Do it more.
It's pathetic, and you're going to end up dying from it, and that's a bad, sad thing. So you need to stop that.
Unless it's a margarita, right?
Oh yeah, that's not a problem. At all.
No, it's got to be a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
If your drink has an umbrella in it, it's fine.
Oh, it doesn't have an umbrella, you bastard. It comes in a palm tree.
If it comes in a coconut, it's fine.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So anyway, Alan, do you have any more?
Well, I have a million of them, but now that we're recording, I can't think of one.
All right. Anyway, I had a couple that were it was interesting that it got me for a long time, and and they're both actually Van Halen songs. Van Halen, David Lee Roth,
Yeah,
Sucks.
He's bad.
the messed up
Mr. Slurrer.
One of them was one of the big songs, "Hot for Teacher."
Hot for Teacher's got a bunch of stuff in it. Yep.
There was one lyric in there that I and it's you guys are gonna fucking nut on this, but it was like it goes. It's in the second one. I heard you missed us. We're back. Brought my pencil. Give us something to write on, man. Okay. And it goes, I heard about your lessons. Your lessons are so cold. I want to know about this school, which I didn't know that's what that said. Then I always thought it said, little girl from Jerry Lawler. It sounded like Jerry
Lawler.
I swear to God. I mean, I was like, did not know what that lyric was, but it's little girl from Cherry Lane. How did you get so bold? It's like, but it says Jerry. If you listen to next time you hear that song,
so we mentioned
it says Jerry.
The King got a mention on the Race the Rock podcast.
On the opposite spectrum of misheard lyrics,
right.
I am notorious for changing the lyrics.
Right.
And my friend Mike pretty much hates me and refuses to let me sing any songs around him anymore because I changed them so bad. Like, he cannot hear the song Double Vision anymore without hearing My Long Division Gets the Best of Me. That's the kind of shit that I do.
Gotcha.
On purpose?
On purpose, yes.
Another one of the
evil man. Evil.
He's like another weird. He's a Weird Al knockoff, is what it is. Anyway, they
yeah.
Zing.
Man,
except I'm poor Weird Al.
Oh, I'm happy.
He's
Al's talking on his
like when he talks. Now he's acting
I like when he talks. I like when he talks.
Boy, your age ought not say things like that.
Tell you what, if you listen to episode 1 through about 10, he does this. Now he's looking at he's animated. He's fucking talking. He's saying okay. The other one that I was going to talk about with Van Halen was Unchained. What was it? And I got to see. He's a size 5 murder. Or no, it's a sad. I always thought it said satisfied murder, but it's blue. It's God damn it. In a size 5 dress is what it says.
Oh yeah.
But what was it goes? I always thought it said satisfied murder. God damn it. Blue-eyed. It's blue-eyed murder in a size 5 dress is what it says. But it's like, it was always like satisfied, but and then when you get that shit in your head, it never leaves you. Even when you hear it now, I still hear Jerry Lawler every time I hear it.
Well, speaking of Van Halen, many moons ago in my old band, the guitar player's wife, we did Ain't Talking About Love. And she's like, I swear I thought they were saying chunky butt love.
That was
see, I'd forgotten about that until you brought up Van Halen. So
there's a lyric in that song. David Lee Roth, he like I said, he says some shit sometimes that don't make sense. I mean, it's bad. But like I said, this whole thing came up, and Lisa Bennett, thank you for bringing that up. Like I said, I'm gonna give her credit on this one because I thought that would be a good topic. But anyway, there is a lot, and like I said, if you're watching the show and there's something that you misunderstood or is a funny line, because like I said,
post it on our Facebook. That shit is funny.
And then, like I said, once you hear that shit, it never goes away. Every time you hear it, and then you kind of laugh about it. So please tell us.
Here's what's funny is when you're riding with your 15-year-old in the car and you're singing and he's singing along too, and then you really don't know the words, and he goes and you sing it wrong, and he goes. Looks over and he goes, "You really don't know the words." I'm like,
and if you kind of sing if you sing the same note, and you just kind of do something, it doesn't matter a lot,
right?
Especially in the car.
Right.
Just sing real loud and just stay in tune.
Yeah, stay in key. As long as you stay in key, you're good. Yeah, except for whenever he's listening and he's like, you really don't know the words.
No, but I sound good. All righty. You ready for number 2, this rock and roll trifecta?
Sure.
Hell yeah. All right. Another question, I kind of came up with this one. And actually, we were talking about at work the other day. Who do you think is going to be the millennials Rolling Stones? Do they have anybody now in this generation that's going to be another Rolling Stone, or we're going to be, are we done for a while?
I think because of
This is more of a personal thing. So, what do you think?
I think that because of the state of the music industry and the fact that record labels do not groom bands like they used to and give them 2 or 3 albums to get their shit together, you know, it's basically crank out a hit, throw them out. Crank out a hit, throw them out, you know.
Yeah.
Well, or crank out an album. If there's not a hit, you're done.
Yeah.
You don't get the sophomore album.
Right.
You don't get to the next. Yeah.
Right.
I think that there will be some around. I don't think there'll be the number of people that I don't think you're going to see a 40th anniversary tour from a lot of bands.
Death Punch.
Whether you're talking about, even, to be honest with you, I don't think there's anybody that is not a band that's been around for 10 years or more that's going to be around in 10 years.
No,
Does that make sense?
How long has the Foo Fighters been around?
Well, I think they've been around for a while. For a
Foo
while.
Fighters are going to be the next Rolling Stones, but they're not. Those guys are fucking our age. I mean, they're not. I'm talking about millennials. I'm talking about the people our kids' age right now. There's none of those bands that are going to be. I don't foresee any of them, like you said, Bill, lasting 10 years.
I think you'll. I think
there'll
be.
I think Alan's
honestly,
right.
In the rock world, I definitely don't see anybody lasting that long.
No.
I don't know who it would be.
And I think Alan's right in the fact that they're not giving them the opportunity to do this shit.
But I think there are some people that will do okay, and you guys will probably, you can tell me whatever you. But Taylor Swift,
well,
she's talented. I think she'll do okay because I think she'll just keep reinventing herself.
Yeah.
But that's not the Rolling Stones, and that's not going to be. I mean, that's a good. I mean, when you use that,
and I use Rolling Stones. I use the Rolling Stones as a deal because the fact of that just the longevity. Right. And you could use Kiss, you could use Aerosmith, you could use it. Where the main core. Well, you can't use Kiss because the main core of the band stayed around for.
Aerosmith, the main core of the band stayed around. The main core of the band's been there for 40 years. I mean,
but Aerosmith and like we talk about the Rolling Stones, other than the one Brian Jones that passed away. Well, then they've replaced Bill Wyman. But other than that, they've stayed fairly good together. The Rolling Stones now is about an 18-piece band. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, but anyway, no. The whole thing is, I just can't see anybody that the millennials have out now in their generation. And my first thought was the Foo Fighters, but the fact of the Foo Fighters is not a millennials. The Foo Fighters is our generation, and I think they will become the Rolling Stones, the long-time band from our generation. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been around almost 20. I mean, they're almost ready for the. I mean, they've been around over 20 years.
Yeah, they're close to being eligible.
So it's going to be, and they're our age, and that's. I think that's going to be our band. It's going to be that way. But you take somebody. Like you said, I don't see like Five Finger Death Punch may not last the next 6 months, because everybody's the turmoil. And like you said, with the way the record industry is now, like you said, they're not holding these people's hands. They're just cranking them out. They're using them like meat. I mean, it's basically you either produce something or you're out of here,
And in it's going to change so much because how many people will attend shows and not just buy? They'll be watching shows on. I'm surprised Live Nation doesn't have a music station that you can go and you can subscribe to it and watch free live shows.
Right.
Why? I mean, from your living room, you can watch it. You can watch. Why do you need to go to Klipsch?
Right.
Really? I mean, honest to God, you could pay $100. You could pay. Right. You could play. Live Nation or whatever. $100 a year, $99 a year, and you could watch all the free shows you wanted because they are all recorded.
Right.
Right. And you can.
But you, Al, and myself, I like to go to concerts. I do like to
go to concerts.
And I think people.
But that's another. What I think.
But there's an outlet to it, though. Like you said, though,
it's another outlet.
The people who can't go are live in bumfuck Egypt who can't get a concert to their thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should be living there because Evansville don't get the big acts. We were just out.
Well, they do if they wear rhinestones.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Press
Bill and I
jeans.
were talking about that earlier. I have to pick from Indianapolis to Nashville. Nashville is where my go-to place is because we're on the same time zone, and I can get to Nashville after work because they're again on a weekday. If it's a weekday concert, I can't make it to Clips. I can't make because of the hour I lose when I drive to Nashville, plus the highway or Indianapolis. I don't have. And all the road work that they're doing between Bloomington now and Indianapolis, there's no way I can make it up there to see, especially if it's an opening act.
Well, and it's on the north side of Indy, so it's not on the south side.
But Nashville, I can get off work if I get off on a normal time, make it to Nashville, be in time for a concert, and drive back and still get some decent sleep and get back to work the next day. So. The dog's still out.
No, what it is she is eating out of her dog food bowl, and she has thrown a piece of kibble under something, and she's going to keep barking until somebody gets it for her.
You better go get it.
That be you?
That'd be
How
you.
about I just close the door?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, I don't.
So anyway,
I think that's. I think it's a good question.
But
I'd be interested to see if anybody else has any thoughts about that because
I'll tell you what. In 20 years, let's come back here and let's see who it is. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sit here.
Interesting.
It'd be episode 1575. Well, we found out who the new Rolling Stones is.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's Justin Bieber. Oh, son of a bitch.
It won't be him. He's not going to be around. He's not going to be around in 2 years.
He's becoming another Britney Spears. He's getting all weirded up. Now he don't want pictures. He can't take pictures with him because he feels like a zoo animal. Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, that's what I thought. That was a fairly good question as far as I just don't foresee a Rolling Stone in the millennial section right now. We'll just have to see what's going to go on with that. Now that kind of segues into the next question of the triple of the trifecta.
Well, wait. Let me go back for a second because a band just popped. So what about Maroon 5?
No, they don't have the same.
Yes,
I think they have longevity.
Yes.
All right, since you just said that, I'm going to say another one. Bruno Mars.
Yes, Bruno is badass
because he's talented, and that.
I think both those bands. I think both of them have enough diversity that they do a lot of different things that they can keep themselves.
I can go with that.
I will describe Bruno Mars as the Prince of the millennial generation.
Yeah, I would agree.
He's actually kind of a Prince, kind of a Jackson, not Jackson Brown. God damn it,
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
No.
Yes.
James Brown. He's kind of the James Brown.
James Brown, Jackson Brown. That's pretty close.
I'm not gonna give Prince. I'm not gonna give Michael Jackson. I'm not gonna give Michael Jackson. No, he's not a Michael Jackson. But no, he's kind of he's a young James Brown.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
he's got soul to him. He's a dancer. He can and their band. That kind of stuff I can see because you know why? They're fucking talented. You know, the problem is right now there's a lot of non-talent. And here's a really quick segue to that. You know, when I was younger and we tried to record, you know, we would record shit on these 4-tracks and they were junk. I mean, they were these old 4-track cassettes, and I've actually got some recordings now that actually sound really good from what we had back in the day. Kids now, I can sit here on my computer right now and if I got the software, I can make recordings that could be a million times better than anything that George Martin produced in Abbey Road studio. You know what I'm saying? The technology is here, and it's available and access to almost anyone.
Right.
Why are we not getting great recordings out of it? That's what boggles my mind. Is back in the day, I would love to have the opportunity to record on good equipment, but we didn't have the equipment. We had the songs, we had the equipment, but now they've got the equipment, but nobody has the music. So I don't get that. It just boggles my mind.
Well, maybe those kids that are doing that, I don't know.
Well,
are not
you
are
got
not.
these bust out guys from YouTube, Justin Bieber. I'm sorry, I just threw up in my mouth. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't know.
where's everybody else? Where's these kids? I mean, you got fucking 4-year-olds that playing drums to Iron Maiden and Rush, and you got
Yeah,
7-year-olds playing Randy Rhoads solos. Why aren't these kids making music? Why don't they? I don't understand it.
yeah, I don't know.
So
All right,
anyway,
what was our
getting to
last
number
topic?
3 is, and this is another just basically a question, and if you got an answer, please put it on our website or on our Facebook. But what needs to happen to rock? What do we need to do? What do we need to do to change? What needs to happen to rock and roll and the recording industry to change where the path that I see that we're going right now is grim. It's a dark.
The gatekeepers need to be removed. I mean, in my opinion, the reason that the stuff that we like doesn't get the attention or the airplay that it used to is because it doesn't make enough money. The Live Nation, the Clear Channel, all of those who have control over the airwaves and over the venues are not going to let it happen. So
it's a profit. It's profit.
Right. It's all driven by money. And people of our generation are now old enough and smart enough not to sign those contracts that ruin you for the rest of your life. So they're going to go find somebody who will sign that contract.
Well, not only is it driven by money, then the artists aren't being paid.
Right.
So that's even a bigger issue because then they don't have the funding for album number 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever because they're not getting the money. I mean, that's the argument going on right now.
Well, the problem is the technology you've got with the YouTube. That's a big issue right now.
Yeah, YouTube is huge right now, right? Because they're paying pennies.
Plus, even the sharing bullshit. Not sharing, but like Spotify and those services, they're paying, like you said, like a 0.001 penny.
Well, I listened to a really interesting podcast with Nikki Sixx the other day, and he was really more wound up
ranting on Gene.
No. It was pre that. So it's okay. The other day may have been 2 weeks. So
when you're in your 50s, the other day could have been a year ago.
That's exactly right. My boss told me one time the older you get, it's like the toilet paper rolls faster on the the closer you get to the end, the faster it rolls. So he said that's how it goes, bud. So
yep.
But I think that anyway, Nikki Sixx was talking about that they've worked out deals. The record labels and stuff have worked out deals with Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. They've got deals with iTunes, stuff like that. But where they're struggling is with like YouTube, that everything is just free. You don't have to pay anything to access anything, which means people make these music the lyric videos, whether it's and the bands aren't approving them, but they're posting them, and there's really no way for them to control it, and there's no money for it. So I don't know, and I would have thought that would have been a copyright issue because we've had discussions on this show about not using music,
right?
Because of copyright things, but that was where his big rant was. I mean, it was really interesting about his take on that.
Well, let me ask a really stupid question because I'm being honest about this because I really just don't know. Where does YouTube how do they make money? I'm sure it's off their advertising.
It's advertising. Yeah. It's really all.
But I mean, there's not that much advertising that I see on YouTube. I mean, do they make that much money?
They must make money somewhere because it's $1 billion interest. Well, okay.
See, I don't know.
That's why YouTube's owned by Google now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Google sells your personal information too. So, when you're logging into your Google account or whatever, they know, however their analytics work, they know
where you're going, who you're going.
They know more about me than I know about me.
It's funny. You go onto Facebook and you'll look up something on some other kind of, you look up, like say you'll search something like I'm looking for a new guitar amp. And the next time I go on Facebook, every freaking ad I got on there is from a music place. I mean, they got your shit.
Well, what kills me about that is, I run the sound company. I've just recently purchased 2 more sets of tops and another sub.
Right.
So now Amazon is trying to sell me 2 more tops and a sub.
Oh,
I just bought my sound system. It's too late now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I totally agree.
But no, and honestly, here's my thing too. I know that there's a situation with the company and the way people get paid and all that crap as far as music. But we need we need another punk. We need something. We need something to fire people up about
Revolution.
Music. I mean, seriously, fucking put down the sequencers, put down the backup tapes, get 2 guys with a couple guitars, a bass, and a drum. Write some songs about shit in your pockets, or make sexual window, whatever, and make some music.
But we've talked about this before. Who controls what's on the radio?
But it don't have to be on the
Clear
radio.
Channel and Live Nation.
No. Teenagers control what's on the radio. So they're not going to have the stuff that we think needs to be.
So
So you go back to thinking about, when our parents are listening to whatever they were listening to, and then the first time you put a Kiss record on and they may or may not have went, that's complete garbage.
Right.
Well, that's because we were teenagers. So I don't know how we're going to know, me being 50 is going to know when
the next Rolling Stone.
Wow, that's the next genre, because I don't, or the next big thing, because I'm not really sure I even know. I mean,
right.
Like this, Alex is going with his girlfriend tonight to see.
God damn it, Bill! Why you got to be so fucking smart about this?
Ellie
I'm like going.
I don't know.
I want another Ramones. I want another kid. I want another.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want. But
I
don't think that's what we're going to get, because that's not where it's at. That's not
what we got to do. Alan, you and I got to keep. As musicians, we got to keep going out and playing this stupid music and making music for people our age. That's the whole.
So we went to a bar last night after the thing, and they were playing. Their band was called the Big 80s, and they were playing. They were really good too, by the way. They were playing just 80s music, and it was everything. They played Rick Springfield. They played.
Where I've been
down here in one of the bars here.
I love to see it. See, I love that shit.
And they played Prince. They played. They played Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Awesome. I would love to have seen that.
It was really good. I mean, we only stayed for probably maybe, I don't even know if we were there an hour, because we ended up sitting outside because it was so loud inside. You couldn't sit in there and talk. So we sat outside, and it was like,
see, now you're too old.
Flip flops and a t-shirt on. It was 40. It was 57 degrees. It was freezing.
Then you go inside. You know what? Fucking tighten your underwear up and go inside. Damn it.
My balls on the counter. Is that what you're going to say?
No, I just mean like buckle up, go inside. You're not that old. Come on, it ain't too loud.
So no, it was too loud because the way the band was sitting in there, the only table that was open was right in front of them, and you couldn't. That person next to you.
Right. For anybody who's not seen Bill at a show like in Bloomington, there's a Bluebird.
Yeah.
We're right in front of the speakers,
and I have no problem with that.
Because we're not trying to have a conversation.
I was with you guys, and I didn't want to talk to you, Bus.
That and the Red Bull was like going, woohoo! Not Red Bull, but the Fireball.
It wasn't the same kind of shit.
I'm just giving you shit.
But I think that's. But to your point, that's what we wanted to hear, and the age of the people that we were actually. My buddy Jay said, "Look at the people that are in here. There wasn't anybody
under. Probably
I don't think there was anybody in there that was under 50. And outside where we were sitting, there were a couple of 50-year-olds, and the other guy, everybody else was younger than that, and considerably younger, like in their probably 20s, maybe early 30s, and they were not. I don't think they were into the music. They were
like going, why are they playing all this oldie shit?
No, but it was. They had it was a theme night for them though, because they had waitresses had like leg warmers, and they were all 80'd up. So
big hair and mini skirts.
Yeah. So back to the the original question. I just don't think it's going to be the same. I mean, I don't know how we're going to know when the next. So when hair metal came along,
right,
it kind of killed off disco.
Right. grunge killed.
Grunge,
supposedly.
may or
I
may
don't
not
think
have
it
killed
did.
off.
I think it right.
Hair metal. We had that discussion about hair metal probably killed itself just because suicide was an option.
I'm just hoping for something to kill the stuff that's now. I hope it's better.
And I don't.
You're shit out of luck,
I don't think
Dennis.
I don't think we're going back to. I don't think we're going back to a dude playing a guitar and a rhythm, or a lead singer, a rhythm guitar player, a lead guitar player, a bass player, and a drummer. I don't think that's happening again. I think we're past that.
Just
I
like my
agree.
parents always wanted a doo-wop.
I don't want it to be that way.
Well, there again, my parents want another doo-wop band. You know what I'm saying?
They want
that shit ain't gonna
people
happen.
standing in front of microphones, dancing and in perfect synchronicity. And
God damn it sucks getting old, Bill.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
So basically, you could take what we talked about today in the rock and roll trifecta, mistaken lyrics, who's going to be the next Rolling Stones, and what needs to happen, is basically all because we're old. We just mistake things.
Well, that should have just been bitch about Gene. We're old. Good night.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Though? It kind of wrapped up. It's a full circle thing.
There
But
you go.
I think that's been.
But you know what, though? I think our generation, though, we're going to carry this torch till we're all fucking dead. I mean, it's just going to be till there'll be some 90-year-olds somewhere playing fucking Come On Eileen somewhere. And some old dude in a wheelchair is going to be going, oh, come on, Eileen.
But I can tell you, sitting outside and looking inside and seeing where they had a dance floor and stuff like that, as soon as that started, as soon as it was the
yeah. Oh, I mean, God,
people bounced up and ran to the dance floor.
God, and I'm not going to play that.
And I was like, Dennis would have a fit.
Dude, and my class reunion, the biggest song that got everybody on the dance floor was that stupid song. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me.
But why is it? It wasn't. It was different. The beginning of that song was different, and it had a good beat.
But that song came after we were in high school. That's what
matter.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It was different enough. And I think that's why this EDM music and stuff like that's taken off, and kids are getting into that stuff right now. It's just different. It's different. It's not
maybe,
and they can do a lot of different stuff.
That's what Ian told me.
They mash stuff together, and they take stuff that's really,
Now that's where you get the little board, and they got all the things on there and different kind of rhythms, and you touch it, and then they do this, and they change it. I mean, it's not really a band. It's just like electronic music is what it is.
Yeah, I don't, because when
you can buy those.
I think it was just a DJ guy and some guy saying
they have like these boards, and Al, you know what I'm talking about. There's like a board with different buttons on it, and they have different things programmed, and you just kind of touch, and it changes, and then like I'm done doing this one. Now we're gonna do this one, kind of shit,
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, are you out there?
We can hear you, Bill.
Okay, here we're gonna bring in.
He's gonna bring in an expert.
There we go, expert. Explain this to me.
Can you hear me?
Now, I won't use any bad words.
All right. Hey, I got to ask you a question. So we're talking about, come in. You got to get close because otherwise
stand up behind your old man.
Right behind,
down here.
Right
now squat down. We
can
see your eyes.
Right here.
There you go.
No,
now go over top on his head. No, we got to do this right. You need to go because you're going to cut his head off.
Y'all both need to go to Bill's right.
Okay, this way.
There you go.
All
right.
And
then bring him in. Come on,
put your head on Dad's shoulder.
There you go. Right.
Get your right out of the way.
You're good.
We're working this
out.
Right,
so what we've been talking about is, what will be. What was I forgot the topic.
Okay, here.
The next big thing.
For you. Questions for you. Who is going to be the millennials Rolling Stones? Who do you think is going to be 20 years from now is going to be the band that stayed around 20 years in your people that you know? Or do you have one? See, that's what we had the same reaction, so don't feel bad.
I feel like everybody nowadays is just one-hit wonders.
Boom.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah.
So what was the other question?
What needs to happen to rock to change it? What do you think? What needs to happen? What do you think needs to?
Dennis wants to know what you young kids can do to make him happy again.
That's exactly
no, I'm just saying. That is true. That is true. It's a me show.
Because what we were talking about was that we really don't. I don't think we're ever going to get back to where you have a guy with a lead singer and then a drummer and a guitar player and a bass player and a lead guitar. I don't think we're going to get there anymore because that, like the EDM stuff that you listen to, I just don't think we're going to get back to that stuff. I mean, I don't think it's going to go back to where it's like Foo Fighters or Kiss or any of that kind of stuff.
Well, I
So
remember
you're going to see Ellie Goulding tonight, right?
Yeah.
So will she be, in your opinion, will she be around in 5 years?
Yeah.
10?
No.
Huh.
Yeah.
See.
What about that EDM guy you went to?
Yeah, I feel like they'll be around for a while.
And that's because that's your generation that's the music you guys are kind of getting
So
into.
no, explain to me the EDM. I know there's I've seen, like, you can buy in, like, in these magazines for music stuff. It was like a board. You program different kind of beats and stuff. Is that what what an EDM is?
Yeah.
It's basically just beats now.
Yeah,
Everybody's all changing, and then you do a
They
different
just
kind
kind
of
of make it up on the spot, like as you
right, exactly. Okay, so they're pre-programmed music that then a DJ or somebody will figure out how the crowd, read the crowd, and do that. Okay, I got you. Awesome. Yeah.
Why, thank you, young man.
You're welcome. No
We got an
problem.
expert. Bill, how great is that?
That's pretty cool. On the fly.
On the fly.
You guys buy anything?
Well, I guess that probably about wraps it up, fellas. What y'all think?
Yeah. Hold on. Since Bill gets hooked back up. Now you can't hear him. Can you hear
Can
him?
you hear me now?
There you go. We can hear
Oh,
you now.
darn, we was hoping he was gone.
Yeah, I know you were. That way.
So
Well,
anyway,
it's
we got an expert. We got an expert in on
There you
that.
go.
That's good.
He's
That's
18,
good.
so
Hell yeah.
he'd know.
There you
And
go.
there again, this is, I guess, basically it's one of these, because I came up with this topic. It's one of these, like, let's make Dennis happy till the day he dies. We want some good music. I want to hear some good music.
I think it's been some really good discussion. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I think
But it
that's
is cool, and it kind of makes you think about shit, because I get into that, and I'm like saying this and that, and then you're like going, well, you know what? The kids, I was like, I keep forgetting that we're not.
Yeah, we're not
the
18 anymore.
not the most important people in the world.
It is hard.
Please let our favorite brands stay around for as long as they can, except for maybe
Forever.
Kiss. Kiss needs maybe hanging up. Fuckers.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Gene, you pissed me off last week. So
And on that note, visit
Yep.
agesofrock.com and check us out on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and all of that good stuff. And we will see you next week. Peace out.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Ages of Rock podcast. If you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and most importantly, tell all your friends. Remember, you're never too old to rock. Until the next episode, peace out, folks.